Welcome to another episode of Follow Suit. Once again, I'm your host and CEO, P.O. Today, we have a very, very special episode. We got legendary Cleveland native here, Hall of Fame. I can't say enough things to describe this man here, but I'm honored and humbled to have you here. Coach Ginn Sr. How you doing, sir?
I'm fine. Good to be here. Good to be alive today.
Yeah, appreciate it. I know it's a crazy world right now with everything going on with COVID. Mm-hmm. How have you and your family managed during this crazy time with the adjustments of last year not being able to do anything, the vaccines and things? How do you feel about getting the vaccine and everything like that?
Well, I think, I feel good about getting the vaccine, which I haven't had the opportunity yet. I think it's all preventative medicine for what we're going through. Just the COVID, we're dealing with something that none of us ever seen in our life, So, but what it did, anytime that God is involved, He found a way to get everybody's attention.
Absolutely.
So, what it done for me as, with my family, it made you pay more attention to the things that you wasn't paying attention to, because you was taking it for granted. That you out, you working, you serving, doing the things, but it gave you opportunities to really pay attention to what was important, and that's your family, and made us all come together, which was good for me. But I always think of things. It's a reason for everything.
Absolutely.
And I just think it just shine a light on everything, even in the world that's been going on. Now you can see it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of downtime, so when, you see the murders happen of,
right.
George Floyd or Breonna Taylor, right. Everybody's home not doing anything, so the camera is on it, and you can see it now. So it's
right.
like the media can't hide that black people are being treated differently. Yeah. And it was big that you said that it allowed you to refocus, because for me, when COVID happened, I didn't have a podcast. I started the podcast in December
right.
Because I sat down during COVID and think about what things were important to me, what things was I passionate about, and in April of 2019, I lost my uncle to suicide,
right.
and I was trying to think about what ways I can honor him. He was somebody you would think had everything that you could imagine, somebody who had everything that you would want, but he was going through depression and we didn't know about it.
Oh yeah.
So I wanted to create this type of platform to be able to give people of all walks of life, no matter how successful, whether you're a common person or anything, anybody can come on this show and interview and just talk about common topics amongst everybody, just to get it out there. So what would you say would be the main thing that you gained from COVID, as far as whether it's with educating with the kids and interacting with them, or just you and your family alone?
Well, both of them. With my family, it made me, like I said, pay attention, because you're so busy in your life work. When that's how I have to say it. What I learned, my wife told me one day, so I really didn't know who I was living with until COVID came around. Meaning that things that she could take, because I was always out working. She was doing her thing. She was at work, and now we got to be here together.
Yeah.
You understand? It's a lot of things that we probably miss, because we're just so busy about serving and doing what we need to do. But it shined a light on that. And then when you get to the educational piece, for me, it shined a light on things that I've always thought. At Ginn Academy, and just serving children and raising kids. I thought we need to pay a lot of attention. A lot of times people don't look at it like that.
Yeah.
See, we talk about education, we talk about, but what do you learn? How do you develop? Nobody wants to do the fundamental development of children no more. You know what I'm saying? So now this COVID thing put a light on it. Our kids have to be touched.
Yeah, oh yeah.
They got to be talked to. You can't teach them from a screen. And we all the 6 feet apart. At Ginn Academy, I believe in that.
Yeah.
So what it did for me, it shined a light on my philosophy, what I always thought, that people just let it go over the head. That don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing. You got to have a relationship.
Absolutely.
As a teacher, as a leader, as a whatever. You understand? Now you got to teach from a screen. Now, how you develop that relationship? You think it's just automatic?
Yeah, and it's a little tough because I have a 14-year-old brother, and he's going through that.
Absolutely.
He's trying to take placement tests and get a certain type of help on these classes, and it's like, yeah, I'm smart, I understand this stuff, but it's like when I'm going through it, I need to be able to contact somebody. I can't send an email, hope they get back to me in a certain amount of time. It's very tough. So one thing I wanted to ask you, because one of my followers brought this topic up. You talked about certain things that you always felt was important. Mm-hmm. One thing in the black community, I don't feel like credit is highlighted enough. Like, a lot of people in our community in the inner city, they don't learn much about credit until after they're grown and they already messed their credit up. I feel like from my point of view and a lot of followers that I have, they think learning about credit should be part of the educational system. How do you feel about that?
Credit is part of raising and teaching. Mm-hmm. What are we learning? What is school? Mm-hmm. We go to school to learn. But what you're teaching, we don't teach to test. We got to teach fundamental skills of life. The credit is part of it. Mm-hmm. Everything that I do in my life, I've done in my life, come from high school. Mm-hmm. But just back in the 70s, back in the 60s, they was teaching you all that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They took it out and put a number there and teach you a test. No, a test was just to see where you was at academically.
Right.
Other than that, we was teaching your life.
Yeah.
We was teaching you how to navigate through the world. All that is part of. So why do a lot of people mess up their credit? Because they weren't exposed to it.
Right.
See, education is what you're exposed to, not what they teach you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then you see old people used to tell you, go down. I'm a country boy now.
Yes, what part?
Louisiana.
Okay, I didn't know that.
That's right. So I come out off a farm.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? My grandparents tell you, go down to that schoolhouse and do that schoolhouse work. Mm-hmm. But you better learn how to do something. Yeah. That didn't make sense back then. It makes all the sense in the world today.
So can you run back the saying that you said, education is not what you were taught, but it's what you were exposed to?
That's right.
I think that's major because I always felt like, me personally, mm-hmm. I learned better from seeing or experiencing it.
That's right. So a lot of people is miseducated. Mm-hmm. You understand? So you can say, well, this is the best school. What makes it the best school? Mm-hmm. What have they taught and what have the people that's in that school learned?
See, my favorite thing about everything that you've always done, because I grew up in the Maple Heights school system, mm-hmm. But seeing Glenville from afar, we always ran into these guys playing in 7-on-7s and tournaments like that, and I always admired the way that, knowing where they came from, that when we run into them, they had a good polish to them. Mm-hmm. And I know that had to come from somewhere because the streets have always been a certain type of way. Growing up in the inner city, you got a lot of people who do bad, and there's a lot of negative influences, but all the kids that seem to come through you seem to have some sort of polish. And I feel like that's what separates you from all of these top private schools. Not saying that they don't do any good, because any type of educational system I feel is great, but I admire most because your students seem to have a relationship with you. I never hear anyone say anything outside of coach or pops. Anytime I hear somebody talk about Coach Ginn, it's pops or unc, something like that.
Because you are the example of a father figure mm-hmm. to every kid, whether they male or female. You understand? It's our responsibility to teach and teach them just like they're your child. Mm-hmm. See, everybody always gonna say to me, if I go talk to a kid, well, what is your curriculum? Mm-hmm. I said, my curriculum is different. And my curriculum is love, passion, and understanding. You understand? Mm-hmm. Where everybody else's curriculum is math, science, social studies, or whatever. But that's a requirement for everybody. Mm-hmm. So that's what makes that different. Yeah. You understand? Nobody don't have to love you. Nobody have to have the passion. They don't have to get you right understanding. Mm-hmm. You just asked me a question about credit. Mm-hmm. That might not be, that's not what I'm here to teach. What is a teacher? A teacher's responsibility is to attempt to teach you, give you a lunch, and we call it a day. Yeah. You don't have to have a relationship. I done heard them say it. But COVID made you have one.
Yeah, you're forced to.
You're forced to. But we all have to have a relationship. And you talk about favoritism. Where's favoritism should be at every school. Because each kid is an individual person. So that individual person get what they need, not what you think they need.
Got it.
So it should be favoritism in every school. You educate people according to themselves, not according to what you think.
I think that's huge, because it's like you can't. Everybody has their own personality. You can't judge one person because of the way the next person learns. So I kind of want to. That gave me an idea of a different topic I wanted to bring up. Everybody knows your son, Ted Ginn Jr., but you have more kids, correct? So how is it? Because a lot of times people don't see; they just see Ted Ginn Jr. He's in the spotlight and things like that. But I look at you as a father of many, not just of him. So my thing is like that love has to be portioned out. How is it raising a kid who is a star athlete and also having other kids who are not in the spotlight? How is it raising and balancing that out with showing them equal or making them feel equal value when one is always up in the forefront, but the others are, behind the scenes, but you still love them equally, but the media is all focused on one.
Yeah.
How do you balance that?
Well, it's the individual thing. You've never seen an MVP at Glenville or Ginn Academy. I don't believe in that. Everybody's an MVP. Every person got to have a relationship. I can have a relationship with you, and that's our relationship. So I need you to believe that you are number one to me.
Okay.
Because you are. Because I got to give you what you need. So it's easy. You understand? I don't care what the focus is, because that don't mean nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? I make every kid their own individual person, because it's just like a doctor. If you come to me with an ailment, you're saying he gonna prescribe a medicine.
Yeah.
So I can't give your medicine to him.
Right.
I can only give your medicine to you.
That's deep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if I give you a different medication, it's gonna be a reaction.
Yeah, it's not gonna hit you the same.
No. So it's easy for me, because I see being a coach, a parent, an educator, a leader. I'm gonna hit you with this one now. It's first of all, it's a dangerous business, and second of all, it's the power of influence. You understand? It's the baddest thing in the world. As a parent, so you have to be a behavior analyst to deal with people. That's good parenting. That's good relationship. That's good teaching. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you got to put yourself in that person's position. I don't care if he's 5 or 25. You understand? That's the way I work. So it's easy for me. When you talk about my son had to buy into what I'm teaching him to help others, because we're about service. You understand?
Yeah.
So you got to be the example. Because if you don't do right, we're going to lose a whole generation of kids. So somebody got to follow you.
Right.
So we ain't having problems.
Okay.
You got me?
Yeah, absolutely. And I asked that because I'm a parent of a 4-year-old. I have a 4-year-old son, and I have a daughter on the way. So spreading that love out, I don't have a doubt that I will, but I just like to get insight from other parents and father figures out there.
Everybody's an individual.
So with all of the success that you had, I know you're a man of faith. My grandfather is a pastor also, so I'm that's instilled in me. I may sin and I may do, nobody's perfect, but at the end of the day, I remain humble at no matter how well I'm doing. In any walk of life, I always like to make sure I lead with love no matter who it is. I tell people all the time, don't ever feel threatened to talk to me because it's love over here. That's like my thing. One thing I wanted to ask you, how do you remain so locked in and humble and focused with everything you guys have going on? Like, it's easy. I see a million kids who are stars, but no, your kid is one of the rare few who was like at the top of the mountain peak and made to everybody's dream and played for at least 11, 12, 13 years, right? 14 years. But you guys, him, any relative of yours, you guys are always easy to approach. I've never met Ted Ginn Sr. This is my first time meeting him. He took the time to sit down with me. That's very humble. How do you keep that? Like, how do you remain that way?
Well, see, first of all, you have to realize who you are. You understand? We all was saved. We was saved to serve. You understand? That means that God Jesus died, God gave his son for all of us. He left a light in us, and that light is service. Okay, so it's easy for me and it's easy for my son because we understand and he's been taught what his responsibility is in this world. Just like with everybody's not following it. You know what I'm saying? I know this is my responsibility is to help people and serve people because that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
You understand? See, when you don't know what your purpose in life is, then you're gonna have problems. So it's easy for me because I understand that it's easy to be humble because I'm doing my job.
Right.
I'm doing my purpose. So I don't have time to think about all that.
Arrogantly.
Yeah, arrogance.
Yeah.
I think about when I get up in the morning, I got to help somebody. If I ain't help nobody, I had a bad day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I got to work. It's like a vampire. I try to get my blood. You know what I'm saying? You know, can I help them? Can I show you something? Because I know that's my responsibility. Just like it's yours and everybody in the world. We all don't do it.
Yeah.
So it's easy to stay humble because I know my purpose of living. And it's the same thing. If you don't have a purpose to live, you will die.
Yeah.
You understand? And then getting back, I have to say this to you because I didn't say when I talk about being a leader, teacher, parent, educator, all that. Everybody that we're dealing with is God's children. And if your heart is not in it, it's a judgment day for that. You're going to suffer.
Yeah.
You understand? Because you can't take immature minds and don't develop and take advantage of it. And a lot of people do that.
Got it. I appreciate that, and I want to take that because I have a lot of things. Like I was adamant about talking to Lon about getting you on the show because there's a lot of influencers that we can reach out to, but I really wanted you in particular because you were somebody I admire from afar because I have my own company that I started called Hood Innovators, and Hood stands for Hold On to Our Dreams. So we're trying to encourage the youth to get into school. It's trying to help the youth get into school. It's trying to help people get better jobs. Absolutely. And one thing that I like to focus on when I talk to like my little brother who's an athlete coming up and his friends is everybody can't go to Ohio State. Absolutely. But there's a lot of Division II schools. There's a lot of little schools out there that are paying for education for you to be able to go to school. And like my niece over there, she just got a scholarship. She's going to go to Worcester. Nobody's saying that, it's not UConn, but she's not complaining about anything. She has a place to go. She's getting her school paid for. She's getting an education. I feel like a lot of people, they're being blinded by the big names. They're overlooking the smaller companies. The smaller schools that can pay for their education. So one thing I wanted to talk to you about is, I see a lot of just working at the jobs. I work in the corporate world, and a lot of people say, and I'm going to get into it a little bit here, but a lot of people say, that talent Ted Ginn gets to that school, they ain't never won ish. They ain't never won a championship. They ain't won, and I get into heated arguments all the time, like. You're not from the city. You don't understand. He may not have championships, but what he has is a lot of lives that have been changed. To me, those are championships. Like, you got a lot of kids off the streets in the college. You got a lot of kids in the NFL. People who are rich now, millionaires who came up in poverty. So I always viewed it as those are Ted Ginn Sr.'s championships. And I wanted you on the show to kind of elaborate on that. Could you please? I'm going to step back.
Oh, I can. First of all, man, I don't really care about no championship. You understand?
Yeah.
See, because I don't even think it's people that deserve a championship. You understand? They just spend one time or one dime with none of the kids. You understand? That's a $5 holler person. You spend $5, you go in the stands, you holler, you come up with all these different concepts of why we should be a championship. But you don't even know the problems, the issues, the different mindsets. I'm still teaching. See, I'm exposing kids to different things. These kids come from everywhere. You understand? They got all kind of issues, and they ain't all bad.
Yeah.
But I tell people like this, like I tell teachers, I got youth support, I tell coaches, I say you're nothing but a plug-in station. You see how a plug-in station, you see how these little wires and things
Yeah.
They gonna plug in their problems, their issues, and they're looking for a charge. You understand?
Yeah.
You got to hear their story. You got to do all that. That's our job. It's just a plug-in station. You understand? And so what happens is, let me put it on the football level so everybody can understand this.
Mm-hmm.
If I play St. Ed's or St. Ignatius, right, they got 80 kids.
Mm-hmm.
Out of those 80 kids, they might have one kid that need wraparound services or got some type of issue. And not all bad.
Yeah.
You could be anxiety, be whatever. I got 80 kids. I got 79 that need wraparound.
It's true.
To get them on the field.
It's true.
So I'm influencing them to become great.
Mm-hmm.
See, my problem is my kid's good, but I don't mess with good.
When you say your kids are good, do you mean as athletes or they're good kids?
They good kids. They good athletes. But I'm pushing greatness.
Yeah.
Now that greatness might come in different forms. Some of them might go to the pros. Some of them might go to be a fireman. Some of them might go to West Point. Mm-hmm. That's running the country that don't nobody even know about. I got 5 there.
Wow.
You don't know nothing about that because you keep focusing on inner city, football, and all that.
Right.
Football get in the way. Track get in the way for the purpose of what I do.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So, that's really not, and people are using football and that stuff as a scheme to be a predator.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? To take care of undeveloped mind and trick them. You understand? Well, y'all haven't won a championship, but we win in their life. Why would I win all the games in the world and lose the whole soul? You understand?
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, I could care less about that. You understand? And I tell kids this all the time. I say, I really want y'all to win the championship, but the people don't deserve it.
Yeah.
You understand? Because won't nobody come in, because they use the dysfunction that they think we got against us. And it works on some kid. That's where the predator stuff come in at. Because you take a kid, you go to my weight room, no, I don't have nice, pretty weights.
Yeah.
But that don't mean we poor and broke. You understand? But then you go over this another school, they would look at our weight room. So what that mean? It don't mean nothing. You understand? But see, once again, I'm from the South, right? So I'm gonna give you an example. I'm from New Orleans area. The buildings, you don't let you mess them up or tear them down because of the historical issue of the building, right? Look like a hole in the wall. You won't go in there because they got seafood. They got the best since 1950s or 1940s. You understand? Oh, I ain't gonna eat in there, but you go in the big, pretty, shiny place. You understand? And you go in there and because what it looked like on the outside.
Disappointed.
But then that hole in the wall got the real stuff. You understand? That's the way I look at everybody else. Don't judge me from the outside. See what's on the inside.
Yeah.
See what we do. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what it look like, but they got that eye candy that they tricking people all in this city.
Yeah, all the time. And because I remember, like I said, I graduated from Maple Heights in 2006, and I remember in 2010, Maple Heights and Glenville won the championship the same year on different levels, and Maple Heights won, and you guys lost in the state championship.
Absolutely.
But I know one player from Maple Heights. Well, I'll say about 5 from that state championship team who went on and did greater things. You guys lost, but I can name about 10, 15 players on that team.
Maybe 9.
Okay,
we had 9 pros on that
because I know Cardell won national championship. Christian Bryant won a national championship. Shane Wynn went to the league. Frank Clark, Super Bowl champion. And then what's the guy who went to Miami, the cornerback?
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yeah, so you guys.
Then I went to USC.
Right, so I say all that to say, they won a championship that year. You guys didn't, but your kids had more success, and not saying anything bad about those guys, but just saying that that's what I took value in, because I remember those kids. I see what they're doing. I'm tracking their progress, and that's more important to me, because it's like, when I was younger, I always was, when I played football, hey, state's on 3, but that's what was conditioned into us. We played a certain way, we were taught a certain thing, and we sacrificed our bodies and our future for the greater of the team. But you seem to be someone who's like, hey, look, I want you here to do what's best for you. I'm trying to get the most out of you.
Yes, absolutely.
So another thing I wanted to talk to you about, how do you balance all of that? Because it takes a lot of hours and a lot of work to get to that level. How do you balance that with being at home? Because I looked into coaching and I tried to, I was trying to get into a coaching job, and I was trying to figure it out, like, man, how am I going to be home with my wife and kid while doing this? So how does that balance and still be, because you're still married? Yeah, so you're a great father, and how do you balance that? Like, that seems very hard.
It goes back to
without resentment.
It goes back. I have my wife tell me all the time. So you done broke up a lot of people's families with this stuff that you're doing. You got coaches that's getting divorced and this that has nothing to do with my sport.
Yeah.
But how I balance it is that my wife bought into it. She's the mom. She bought into it because it's going back again to service. This is how we do God's work.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Not that I'm big time spiritual reverend.
Yeah.
This is just the natural thing to do. I'm doing what I was brought on earth to do.
Mm-hmm. You
understand? My wife had to buy into it.
Yeah.
You understand? So somebody in your house. We got to, that's what marriage is. Marriage is somebody got to play a certain role. And we got to, if I had to follow her, I guess they'd be asking her the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I agree with that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say I agree with that, because last week I was saying, like when I had Gambrell and them on here, they were asking like, hey, how do you be able to keep coming up with ideas and stay so invested into this? And I was telling them, my wife told me herself, she tells me she loves me all the time, and that's part of it. But the main thing she told me was, I believe in you, and that changed my whole perspective on everything. Yeah. Like I said, my banner, my wife put that together for me. My logo, she did that. So I appreciate you saying that, because it's like you need, no matter how good of a plan you have and structure you may have in your mind, if nobody's there to believe and take that step with you, I don't feel like you can go in that direction.
No, I done brought people in my house, man. I can't bring them in there now.
Oh no.
But the Troy Smith, the Dante Winners, the Raymond Smalls, and all these people done lived in my house.
Really?
Oh yeah. My wife put them to bed, make up their bed, wash dishes. That's learning something. Mm-hmm. That's teaching. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's part of education. So
that's major, because a lot of people won't, like, I've had coaches who I try to call just to say, hey, how you doing? I'm looking to get into coaching. Can I learn from you? I don't know what's going on over there, but can I learn from you? Can I pick up some knowledge from you? And I can't even get a return phone call, but because I'm no longer on their team anymore. But it seems like with you, that team is lifelong.
Man, come on, you can always teach. That's what life is, coaching. Mm-hmm. You understand?
Has it ever got to a point where you felt like giving up?
No.
Never, not once, no matter how hard it's got. Has it ever got to a point where a player tried to challenge your authority, or a parent tried to attack you? And how do you handle that?
What you mean? That's part of the game. That's it. Shake your shoulders off. Let's go. Because they don't know. You can't blame them for not knowing. We ain't talking about the game. We're talking about life. Mm-hmm. You understand? I don't care about none of that. I expect that. I got something for it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's just like in school. I tell kids all the time, I'm not Father John or Sister Sandra or none of that. When you come to my office, we're gonna talk about you. Mm-hmm. You understand? If your parent come, we're gonna talk about him. If you in my office, I don't care if it's on the football field or in the school, you in my office. Mm-hmm. You in my world, and I'm in your world. Mm-hmm. You hired me as an agent to be a part of your family. Right. You understand? And that's how I always keep it there. So I don't care don't let the football get in the way of what our purpose is. Mm-hmm. You understand? If it's something that you don't like and it's something that he don't like, you understand? It's still the same thing. Yeah. I don't care if it's in your house. Cause when I come to you and I say I'm your son's coach, I'm the whole deal. Yeah. If he didn't take the garbage out, call me.
I'm there.
Don't call me about it. He didn't play. Cause if he didn't play, it was a reason. Right. You understand? Maybe his behavior, maybe that's not good enough, but I'm gonna make sure he gets something. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it still goes back to I'm in charge of this kid's life. Mm-hmm. I don't care about your opinion. You understand? I wouldn't say it like that.
Yeah, yeah.
But I say it in a way that we don't lose focus on what we're doing for the baby.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like you get a lot of single parent mothers come in. This is my baby. I know him. So I'm quite sure you do. Mm-hmm. But hold that down right there. Look, dude, you get up, you go sit over there. Sit outside. Now, I say, now what you say? Mm-hmm. I don't allow parents, especially with their kid, check me or have opinion about whatever the issue is. Because if I allow that, I can never help him.
Got it.
That's saying he leaves the room. Now you got a right to have opinion about whatever. Then we can tighten it up. Mm-hmm. You understand? But you can't do it in front of your kid.
Yeah, don't challenge my authority in front of
the kid. No, because I would never disrespect you in front of him.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? So it's all because the kid has not developed mentally. He haven't spent enough time in the world.
Yeah.
You understand? So we can't cause a problem. You understand? See, in my office, I got a timeline. Mm-hmm. And on the timeline, it look like a ruler. Got 0 to 70. Mm-hmm. And I got all these different numbers, right? I bring kids in, I bring parents in. So I bring a kid in that got an issue. You understand? I said, how old are you? And the parent could be there. He said, I'm 14. 70 way down here.
You got ways to go.
Yeah. I said, you 14. I said, let me tell you what this is. God gave us 70 years to live. Okay? Mm-hmm. That's all he promised us. A lot of us don't make it, but that's how long he promised. I say, you 14. I said, here I am right here at 60, at 65. Mm-hmm. Then I got another line right here at 62. I said, you know what my aunt told me? She said she didn't get grown till she got 62. Yes, sir. I said, so you got all of this places, all this long time to go before you even get grown, according to my aunt. Mm-hmm. We only got 7, so I'm closer to where I'm going than where I came from.
Right.
I said, how old your mama and your daddy? I said, well, they got more experience than you. So how can you automatically have it? You haven't spent no time on earth.
Right.
So they got to have a visual of what you're saying. You could talk it, but show it.
Yeah, show them how it works out.
Yeah.
When you were building your program, because I'm big on building or promoting black-owned companies. So this is a black-owned company, Black Coin Market. I like to promote just to build up our community and just to show people that anybody who's being professional, I like to highlight those things. Mm-hmm. When you were building up your program, did you have a certain vision to do exactly what you're doing now, or was it like as things progressively happen, something sparked it along the way? Like with Ginn Academy, when you did you always vision having Ginn Academy?
Yes.
Okay, so it wasn't that, okay, I'm going through Glenville, I don't like their system, I need to do my own.
I think go ahead, I didn't want to cut.
No, that was it. That was the end of the question.
No, it's things that happen to my kid. It's things that happen to those kids. You know what I'm saying? Things that I saw when I was a younger person that I never could understand it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I used to hear people tell those kids, you know, oh, wait, and I'm young myself. Mm-hmm. I said, man, wait till you get to be, when you get 25, come back, I'll tell you what life's about. And 14, 15 years old. Because he got what's so-called a behavior problem, or you just didn't feel like teaching him, or something happened. And in my head, I say, well, why would you say that to a kid? You got a chance to teach him life now.
Yeah.
I found that was laziness. That was disrespectful to a kid, because you just want to be out here. Mm-hmm. You're not really coaching. You're not really teaching. You know, you just getting a check. Mm-hmm. That used to irritate me.
Yeah, so these people looking for they just coming here
yeah.
doing that. I don't like people who become. I don't want to say I don't like people, but I don't like when people become a teacher because I know I'm gonna always have a job. You know, I don't like that.
I don't want to say it, but I got to. Teaching, and teachers can do 1/3 of their job. Mm-hmm. Can't nobody do nothing about it.
Really?
What you gonna do? All they have to do is attempt to teach you, give you a lunch, and said I tried.
And nothing can be done about that?
Who? Where?
I'm not part of the educational system, so that's why
You went through it, didn't you?
Yeah, definitely.
Did anybody have to love you?
No, my love came from home.
Absolutely. And you know, there's a lot of homes don't have it.
Yeah.
I think love comes through teaching. I think through education, through coaching. That's what I'm on stage every day. You understand? That's what I'm saying to you. So you answered the question without even how many homes have love.
A lot in the inner city. It's a lot of it that don't. Even in I don't want to just limit to inner city. Everywhere it's places like that.
You always hear me talk about all kids are at risk. I say it publicly. They're gonna say, well, why? They say all kids. Yes, they are. All kids are at risk for not reaching their full potential of life because nobody's going to engage with them like that.
Yeah.
You understand? Nobody's going to do that. Nobody wants to do the fundamental part of raising children today. It's all about money.
Yeah.
It's all about what they say.
What can this kid do for me?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So when it comes to like the fundamental part of things, because like I said, I like to look at myself as somebody who's, I didn't realize it until I got with my wife and she started saying like, hey, you got to weigh with people, you need to use your voice and let it be known. So now I'm trying to get into that.
Coaching.
That's what I was going to ask you, because I see a lot of people like, hey, I'm a life coach,
That's right.
but I don't really see them making sense or making the strides to live the way they're trying to teach other people to live. You know, you're an actual influence.
I do it.
And you stand by what you talk about, and those are the people like I can call. Hey, if Ted Ginn Sr. is going to be a life coach, I'll sign up for that. But I have other people who are in the same position as me who are trying to find their own way in life and don't really have a clear vision for themselves. How do you feel about people who call themselves life coaches as opposed to people who are actual influencers and actually putting their best foot forward?
Absolutely. I sit down in different meetings, you know, with wealthy people, billionaires, millionaires, sit on boards. I hear people talk about, and one of my bankers, and he'll tell you this out of his mouth when he first came to Cleveland. He said, well, I'm a mentor. I said, so what do you do? He said, I got a kid that, and this is what you hear all the time. I'm a life coach. You hear this all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, he's a rich dude. I said, so what do you do? He said, I got a kid up here I go see once or twice a month. Take him here, take him to the movie, whatever you do. I told him to his face, you ain't doing nothing. You're just making yourself feel good.
Yeah.
That's not gonna get you in heaven. Life coaching is every day. Mentoring is every day. We use this word wrong. I mentor every day. I get up to get down every day. That's mentoring. Anything besides that is just making yourself feel good. You understand?
Yeah.
Because if you can about pick up that phone and call you anytime, and you can put things aside for that child, you got money, trying to get to heaven, that ain't gonna get it.
Can't buy your way in there.
No.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, bro. It's a cost to live. And I ain't talking about a cost of living raised either.
Yeah, no, I know.
You understand?
Yeah.
You're gonna sacrifice some things, things gonna happen to you. It's a cost to stay on this earth. And that's just real. You understand? If I put up my shirt, I'm cut up from the floor up. You understand? My knees, it's a cost. You're gonna have some illness, you're gonna have some heartbreak, you're gonna have all that. I hear people all the time, man, I'm tired. They work for me, either coaching, teaching. I say, but that's your purpose of being here, to get tired. You understand?
Yeah.
That's what your job is.
So one thing I wanted to, I'm sorry, did you have anything else you want to add? One thing I wanted to ask you, because you mentioned being cut up, and if it's something that's sensitive, you don't want to talk about it.
Man, I don't care.
But, so you were a cancer survivor, correct?
Yeah, pancreatic cancer.
So big congratulations on, and shout out to you.
I'm not no ghost now.
No,
no. You know, because that's a low percentage.
No,
everybody don't make it through that. I tell people I'm a ghost, but I'm not. I'm Casper, though. I'm the friendly ghost.
I say that I bring it up because it's like, you know, you're more of a high risk person for COVID,
no doubt.
And you know, you're still, like you say, every single day you get up, you mentor, you lead. I personally didn't know you were going through that. I follow you on social media. I see everything you do. I never seen anything showing that you were weak or vulnerable at any moment. I always see, yeah, Coach Ginn still looks strong. Coach Ginn still look the same way. You know what I'm saying? Things may alter from here to here, day to day, but from a far away view, you know, it looked like you were still in good spirits, in good condition the whole time. I never knew you were going through that.
Oh yeah.
So how was it for you? Like, how challenging was it for you to overcome that, going out into the pandemic while still trying to lead this group of kids, knowing that your own life is at risk? Because you're saying, you know, it's a price to live, but your token and goal in life is to lead and bring others up so that your time here is well spent. So how hard was it for you internally getting up every day, living through that?
I never thought about it.
Really?
Because I have to continue to do what I was put on this earth to do. See, God is a deliverer. He's going to deliver you into something, you understand? But he would deliver you out of it. It'd become bad. You know what I'm saying? So I never really thought about that. I went through the COVID situation. I'd take the 60 days in the hospital over COVID. You understand? With pancreatic.
Yeah.
You understand?
So you're saying you would rather deal with the cancer than the COVID?
Yes.
Well,
the feeling that I had.
Well, I can understand. Well, I don't know anything about cancer because I haven't had that. But COVID, I'm one of the people who I had it back in August, and I had to spend days in the hospital as well.
Absolutely,
you know,
me too.
Bronchitis in my lungs, and
All that.
couldn't breathe, and all of that stuff. And it was times where they like, yeah, you fine, you okay, you go home today, and then in the hospital they're like, yeah, we're gonna keep you overnight, and I'm like, am I about to die in here? Like, so it's a scary thing because of the unknown. So is that why you value it over, or was it just?
See, COVID was like, I had, out of 11 symptoms, I had 10 all at the same time. And it's like you get jumped. You ever seen people get jumped?
You hit from everywhere.
Yeah, you just got to cover up. And then everybody waiting to see what happens, and see when you get up off of. COVID was like that, you know. I mean, everything at one time, you know. I never felt like that in my life. And it just shut your whole body down. And, you know, once again, that's the only thing that scared me with that. Because my eyeballs hurt. I couldn't even touch my eye.
Yeah.
You know, I couldn't, my body was broken down. And it scared me because you don't know. Then, you know, you learn a lot from it because they don't know, they don't have a cure for it. And everything is preventive measures that they give you. So, you know, we're just dealing with something that we never dealt with before. But I was not. The only reason I was scared because of my feeling, how I felt. I never thought I was going to die, but I was close to it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But, man, you know, all that stuff don't bother me. I done been through all this.
Yeah.
Man. What bothers me is not being able to do what God left me here to do. You understand? That's what I have to do. That's the most important, that I can serve people and help children and help people in my life, because it's what my job is. That's my purpose. You know what I'm saying? And that's why we got the light that was left in us when Jesus died. You know what I'm saying? To shine. You hear them old people, you say, this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. How many people shine though?
Yeah,
and that's service.
Yeah.
Some people taking their flashlight and turning it upside down.
And one thing my wife always says, and my grandfather preaches it as well, is you know, when I go to the Lord, when I'm done living this life, I want to be able to go and say, I left here empty. Like, everything that you gave me, I used it all to the best of my ability. I don't want to feel like I was given something that I didn't try and take advantage of, or didn't try to put, you know, give to the world. I feel like if I have a gift to speak with people and to make them feel at peace with whatever they're going through, I feel like it's my job to go out and have those, even if it's difficult conversations, I feel like I need to do it. So one thing I want to ask you before we get wrapping up, giving advice to somebody like me who's a young man who admires everything that you stand for, being a trailblazer, and I love that you always use the lean mentality, you know, when you're not strong, you know, the Lean On Me song, and I see it on your page all the time. Somebody coming up and trying to build something genuine and organic with my people who love me genuinely, they're not looking out for money. We're not looking to get something from each other. We're just trying to build something positive. What's some advice that you can give to someone like me who's trying to build something similar to what you have going on and trying to get on that path to continue to reach out to others and try and bring them in and reel them in and educate?
Yeah, the first thing I'm going to tell you is this. You're going to have this guy that we all have. And he sits on your shoulder. You go to bed with him at night. That's Mr. Discouragement. You understand? People gonna do that to you. You understand? You have to realize who you are and your purpose in life. Once you do that, you don't never come up off of it. I don't care what nobody say. You understand? You stick to it. You know, because what you're trying to do is serve. And that's everybody's responsibility. You serving in the way you serve it. Don't never get off of it. Don't let nobody discourage you, because you know that's what God left you here to do.
Got it.
That's the best thing I could tell you. Keep your faith. You know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna be the same thing. You can't help. The old saying says, "You damn if you do, you damn if you don't."
Yeah, absolutely.
It's gonna always be there, but you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You understand? And long as you know and you're doing what God told you to do, man.
Yeah, I never feel guilty about things because I know I always have, my heart is pure and I have good intentions when I try to do something. It may come out the wrong way, but my heart is pure, so I never feel.
Yeah, but that main thing, because when you're a leader and you big in what you're doing, it's a lot of loneliness. I'm gonna tell you that. People don't see it, but when you're a good servant, it's a lot of loneliness. And that's what I tell you about Mr. Discouragement. He lay down with you. You really doing? You really think you can do that? How many people supported you? You have to fight that.
Okay.
You understand? And anything to be great. Let me put it to you like this: to be great, greatness brings its own pain that people don't even see. You understand? You have to sacrifice that. I tell kids that you want to be great, you're going to have to sacrifice something, because it's going to hurt. The same thing in this. You understand? Stick to it, because you're doing God's work.
Appreciate it, Coach. So thanks again for coming out, sitting with me and speaking. Did you have a good time?
What?
I just got to ask.
I'm serving, baby.
I appreciate it. Is there anybody that you
We're
would like?
serving.
Yes, I'm trying to be. I'm trying to do my best, put my best foot forward.
That's right.
Is there anybody you would like to see me speak with on this type of level and get their insight, pick their brain from? Just this type of conversation, the authentic, raw, whether it's a mother you may know from the area or a kid who you know came through a lot of trials and tribulations to get to a successful point.
Yeah, I have a lot of kids. And I think that what a lot of people overlook, I got so many.
Pick one.
You know, well, I can just pick one. You know, like I can say James Gordon. You know, and that'll be somebody good. But see, what I was trying to say, I got so many kids. I go all the way back to when they was kids. You know what I'm saying? I got so many kids that I remember situations with the kids.
Yeah.
And they all got a story. And it is a story with every kid. That's really, it's so many, man. Sometimes the kids have to tell me, don't you remember this?
Yeah.
And then it comes back to me. But I'm serving so hard. I'm getting down with them that once they become who they are, I just go, I'm good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's so many people, man, that I could talk to, that you could talk to, and parents. You know, I got parents that I got to sit on the phone like this, 12 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Say, I'm tired. I really want to run my car off the bridge.
That's crazy.
You
You're
know,
saying the parents say that?
the
not you.
parents.
Oh, okay. That's not funny. I thought you said.
No, they hurting. I got to go. I got to be two places tomorrow. One guy in court, another one, she trying to get custody of a kid run off, and I got a son. But I'm dealing with the mama,
Yeah.
the girl, and the son. The girl is, in junior high, elementary, she done ran off over there with her daddy lying on her. Now here come the people that want to come take the kid because she lying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then I'm coaching the son that's in my school, and he won't give her what she need because you keep blaming her for how she was as a young parent, and she living her whole life, and she worked. That's 3 people.
Wow.
I had nothing to do with Ginn Academy, Glenville football, Glenville track. That's a family. Because what I tell you, when you chose me, you chose the agent for everything.
Everything. Yeah.
So she uses it, and she don't bother me.
But I love that you were a man of your word about it, because a lot of people might say it, and then somebody call you at midnight.
No.
I'm here with my wife. I'm not answering the phone.
My phone's always on.
And that's,
You know that.
I appreciate that the most
Yeah.
about you. You know, a lot of
Yeah.
people don't stand true to that.
Yeah. So man, it's so bad out here, man. I feel bad for every kid. But I never finished this, and I don't know if we finished tied up, but when I talk about kids at risk, it's the truth. It can be a kid in Solon, Wadsworth, anywhere. Who really pays attention to that kid? We just a number. Okay, Joe, that your number right here. You never touched him. You never had a relationship. That kid's at risk. You never taught him nothing. You ask some kids. We used to bring kids from I think it was Solon to Glenville, and the kid didn't want to leave. She said, "Y'all talk to y'all teachers like that? They talk to y'all like that?" They couldn't understand that.
Yeah.
They were just a number at their school. Well, this is your number. This is your grade. Have a nice day.
Yeah. You actually are prioritizing their lives because you care about the kids and
That's
not
right.
getting more numbers in your school.
I care about that.
Yeah.
They don't even know some of these kids' names, man.
That's terrible.
So I don't know, man. We could be here forever.
We could.
Yeah.
We could. I mean, if you ever want to come back, doors always open.
Yeah, we need to talk. And I'm here to help you, though.
I appreciate it.
This is all part of life, man. It's part of the service.
Before I wrap it up, do you have any questions for me as a young man? Somebody looking from a different point of view? Anything? Any type of question you have for me at all?
No, I think I just to continue to encourage you. You know what I'm saying? I'm always tell young people. I'm the old dinosaur. I'm old.
Still look good.
You know what I'm saying? But I've been through it. You know what I'm saying? For 40 years. I'm gonna tell you to keep your faith, man. You know what I'm saying? And keep, like I told you before. And I'm gonna leave you with these 3 G's. You understand? This is what I can tell you. You understand? God is gonna guide you. He's gonna guard you, and He's gonna give you if you keep your faith. But the key to it is keeping your faith, and He's gonna give you everything you need. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate that.
So that's what I leave with you.
Thank you, Coach.
All right.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks again for tuning in to another episode of Follow Suit. As always, as a coach, we've been dealt a bad hand, but they still expect us to follow suit. But we're going to change the narrative of that. I'm P.O. I'm here with Ginn Sr. You guys have a good night. Thank you, Coach.